Through covers and original songs, gay Lebanese artist Hashem is bridging cultures through music. During the pandemic, he had the opportunity to explore his passion for music. And when he's not sharing his love for the arts, Hashem is the host of a successful and highly regarded career in queer media.
I recently got into music and singing after having a career in media for a long time. I'm a publisher of magazines in the LGBT community in Canada, in Toronto, Ontario, and we've got publications in Canada. I'm a host of a number of talk shows as well in the community. But I've always knew that there's something sitting aside that I really wanted to do in my life. I was influenced by my aunts. We come from a musical family in Lebanon, and my aunts are very well known there in the industry. One of them was integral to getting women into the music scene when it wasn't as accepted. So I've always been encouraged to love music, and it's been kind of built in our psyche as a family. So when COVID hit, I usually used to post videos of me singing late at night on social media, and a producer reached out and said, "I have no idea what that he was talking about the Arabic videos. I do Arabic and English." And he says, "I have no idea what you're saying, but I really want to work with you. So maybe let's, since you're not doing anything, it's COVID, everything is slow. Let's put out a number of maybe cover releases, songs that you're familiar with." And we did that, and people liked them, and then went from there.
Yeah, like during COVID, it was an opportunity for many to try out something that they normally wouldn't. You had a lot of free time, so it's like, hey, why not try this?
I have to say that's one of the things that I really liked seeing that COVID. While we're locked down and everything is gloomy a bit, the creativity in people really made the day. Trying to, being at home, trying to be creative and entertain people. A lot of artists took the online and started doing live events and stuff like that. It was nice to see.
So you mentioned you were inspired by two aunts, and they kind of were influential in female voices out in Lebanon. Why don't you tell me a little bit more about that and that work? Like, what was life like growing and developing that within your family?
One of my aunts was a manager of it's considering what we have online available now of how many medias. Back then there was only one TV station and one radio station in Lebanon, and my aunt was the manager of both. They basically were under the same corporation of basically entertainment, and she used to produce a lot of the children and adult shows. She used to sing in a lot of the jingles at the beginning of the shows and all that. But my other aunt was more of a theater and concert singer. And growing up, we used to be around a lot of the most famous Middle Eastern composers. I always loved the energy of, the singer and all the songwriters and composers all sitting in a room jamming. And I loved seeing that. So it's always been something that I've been drawn to.
Yeah, and it was just that perfect opportunity where someone heard you at the right time, and it was the right place to be like, okay, you know what? Let's give this a shot.
Why not? Let's give it a try. I'm doing nothing and nothing is happening, so might as well. And we loved it. It's and also during COVID, I started doing more live shows and stuff like that on social, just again to entertain people. Started building the audience on social media. Started getting to see a number of fans and people tuning in from all over. And for some reason, I have a lot of fans in Asia, South Africa, Tunisia. I don't know where they're popping up, but I love them, and it just, to me, it feels the world is smaller and tighter when you connect, with other people from other countries.
As you mentioned in your release, kind of like bridging cultures and bridging people, like that's one of the most exciting things.
I like doing that. When the first couple of releases, I chose a number of Arabic songs, but I wanted to bring them to our North American dance floor, basically. So the language is Arabic, but we work on the beat and the music being for everybody kind of thing in North America. So I guess maybe that's what registered. And Middle Eastern and Africana sound and all these right now are pretty hot. But it's a great genre or sound to tap into. So it seemed to register with people, and then I dropped a couple of English covers as well, English language covers. Self Control, No Ordinary Love, And then I wrote my first song, and that took a different turn. I never thought when I again going by just somebody approaching me and saying, "Let's do this." I thought, okay, you know what? Why not? But I never thought that the next step will be that I really get into songwriting as well. So also due to COVID, um, I it was Mother's Day, and we had a Mother's Day in the backyard of my sister's house, and everybody was sitting in different corners in their own little side. My mom was not part of my bubble. To see my mom across, and I want to give her a hug so badly, but I can't. By the time I got home, I wrote a song called "I Miss You, Mom,"
Aw.
and about how we were dealt as a species, we were dealt with this occasion this year that's stopping us from hugging our mothers, and how much we miss that. I wrote it in an Arabic and English hybrid, so kind of back and forth. Then I called another LGBTQ artist, a rap artist, and I said, I want you to do a rap section on the song. So it has this Middle Eastern influence, Arabic and English back and forth lyrics, and a rap section. And the artist himself is Serbian, so he added a few more Serbian words to the thing. So it ended up being very international in its feeling. So what we did is we called for people to submit mothers' photos from all over,
Oh, that's sweet.
and we did a music video. And during the music video, we ran all the pictures submitted by the kids and their mothers. That registered with people, and people liked it, and it's actually our highest stream to date.
Fantastic.
And that's it. I guess in my head I went, oh my god, I could write songs too. Then I wrote an EP. I wrote an EP, 3 songs. No, actually, I wrote a single called "Not the Kind of Heart That Falls Apart," and that was a heartbreak ballad about being cheated on. And did a music video for that. And then I wrote an EP called "Come Party in My House," that has 3 tracks: "A Party in My House," "Run Away with You," and "Keeps Me Home, My Cowboy." 3 different genres. Again, I'm still experimenting with genres. When I sing covers, I like all eras and all genres. Usually, it just depends if it's a good song. It's a good song to me. So yeah, on that EP there was country, house, and pop on the same CD, or sorry, the same EP. And now I am working on a full album. Actually, I forgot there's the release that you heard. You sang to me, that was the latest release, but now I'm working on my first full studio album.
I think what's really interesting is when you're talking about that kind of collaborative approach. That's something that, we're seeing here in Winnipeg and kind of across Canada, a lot of artists taking a collaborative approach to making songs, and I think it's for the better.
Is it seriously out there? Because I love hearing that. In everything that I do, including the media, including any event, I think the world functions better when we collaborate, when we feed off each other. So I love that energy. So yes, both in my EP and currently in my album, I am bringing on board different influences from different artists. I've got a producer originally from France, who's in Montreal now, a trans producer or a member of the trans community doing really awesome work. I brought him on board. I've got an artist, a queer artist in Toronto who's producing me. I've got a few other writers in different areas. So yeah, I love collaborations. Is something that I totally live for.
Is that something that's important to you, getting other queer creators and queer artists involved in your work?
As a community, there's not a lot of opportunities out there for queer artists to get exposure and get work and all that sort of stuff. So yes, but is it just only queer? No, I love artists in general. I really love artists. I love the energy of artists, the vibes of artists. They're my kind of people. Like even before getting into this, that's who I like to hang out around. The artist community, the cool, the weird, the that sort of thing. So yeah, I like to bring influence. It feels less lonely, I
No,
guess
I
maybe.
get that completely.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I wrote a few songs on my own, but a number of tracks on the new album also is co-written with 1 or 2 songwriters, and we're gonna have some background vocals from different artists. I'm looking at a duet with, and I can't mention it because we haven't finalized everything, but a duet with Juno Award-winning recording, very well-known artist in Canada. So we're looking at it.
Well, that sounds incredibly exciting.
Whatever I can kind of work with, I'm happy.
Let's get into you saying to me this newest release of yours. Walk me through kind of the process. What inspired you about it? What sort of different aspects of your life have you kind of pulled in to create this?
You saying to me is just has a very very special relation to my life. I was dating someone, and that's how I heard it the first time. They mentioned that there's a new song by Mark Anthony that I would probably love, and they played it, and I was like, of course I love the song, and it's been always a constant in my life. I played a lot of things, and then when I started doing music, and I figured that I probably will drop a few covers. That was one that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that one for sure. But first, there was a version of it that we recorded with a certain music, and then recently I redid it again with a different producer, and I ended up with two versions that felt different to me.
Yeah, Dusk Dance and Midnight Heat, right?
Midnight Heat, yeah, Dusk Dance and Midnight Heat. So I wasn't sure if I'm gonna drop one of them and just forget about it, but then I thought, you know what? This one to me, the Dusk Dance feels like I would be dancing on a beach with a bunch of people all celebrating love and whatever, and that's the vibe of that song. But then a friend of mine heard the other one and said this needs to play at a club, like a sexy club after midnight, that sort of thing. And that's what I thought. You know what? Let's drop both. This way, depending on your mood, you can listen to whichever track you like, and you get the different versions of how I saw the song. When I'm doing a cover, I was having a chat with another artist. When I'm doing a cover, I'm not looking to just imitate the same thing that was put out. I have a lot of respect for the original artists that put those songs. Otherwise, I would not have covered them. But I don't want to just do Mark Anthony. I don't want to just do Frank. I want to do how I
Yeah, you
interpret,
wanted to add your flair to it.
basically. So if you see on Midnight Heat, there's a bit of Arabic influence at the start of the song. And that's kind of what I wanted to bring to it. It's a bit also dancier and snappier.
And once again, it's that bridging cultures, bringing your cultural backgrounds and influences and tying it into this piece. So you're respecting and honoring the original work while introducing people to a new flavor.
You got it. Actually, you exactly got the idea. So on the new album, I've got a song written in English language, but I was just started working with the producer in Montreal yesterday. It's gonna have an Arabic beat and an Arabic vibe and Arabic instruments. I'm writing a song is gonna be we're doing a song Africana. Again, my family traces all the way to Africa at some point of history, and all the way back to the Bible at other points. So we're an old family in Lebanon and in the Middle East. So yeah, I feel the connection to the Africana beat as well. There's a song that I'm writing with another artist that's gonna go back and forth Arabic English. She's gonna do the English language. I'm gonna do the Arabic. I'm gonna start it with a very traditional something called mawal, which is usually in Arabic. Before you start a song, you do kind of a very ballady introduction to the song. Sometimes it actually leads to the story. It's almost like a beginning of a story. So you either you kind of introduce the story, or it's separated. Some didn't do that. So yeah, I guess with the album, you get to learn a little bit more about Arabic music, but it's very tied to my Western. I mean, I've been here for a long time.
That's the great part about things like learning new experiences, getting to experience different things. And I think it's more important than ever that we continue to expose people to different cultures and different practices and everything.
I love it when a listener or a viewer on social, whatever, says to me, I didn't understand the song, but I get the
Mhm.
emotion, I get the feeling. You don't have to. I a couple of nights ago, I don't know what I was playing. I think it's either Portuguese or maybe, yeah, I think it was Portuguese, not Spanish. Uh, but it's like on Spotify, it just kind of landed on that song. You know what? I'm gonna start taking every country and listening to a playlist of that country, because I was feeling the music. I did not understand a word, but I was feeling the music, and I kind of got a sense of what that singer was singing about. It just felt like a romantic, or at least, you know what? When you don't understand the language, put your own into it,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like to me, that song that I was listening to while I didn't understand the language, it to me it felt like a romantic song. So that's what I was kind of going with.
Yeah, music transcends borders. It's something intrinsic to being human.
Even more so than, I mean, I used to say film or whatever, but more so than film, because uh, primary we register music, we register beat. So yeah, we can relate more to it.
Your like role is kind of like a host in itself. Like, has your music influenced how you kind of approach things there, or your role influence your music? You know, what sort of balancing act?
It's a TV host that we're on Rogers TV in Ontario with the show. It's called On the Couch. And I've had 10 years. It's the
Wow,
10th season of the show.
congratulations.
It's considered actually one of the longest running LGBT talk shows in history of Canada. And that's an interesting question. I think maybe the fact that I did that talk show, we also have a talk show called The Queer Bunch. We're relaunching tonight. We also, vocally, I do a podcast for one of the publications that we have. So yeah, 3 or 4 different things that I'm involved in where I host things. But I think the talk shows, I'm a shy person by nature, maybe like a long
Yeah.
time ago, but the talk shows made me break that barrier of being too shy. It gave me the confidence, and I guess maybe the confidence from the talk shows enabled me to take the step into music. Everything that I do mixes together: my work, my volunteer, my art, and my talk show duties are all, if there's a connection in them, they're all meant to make people happier and spread positivity as much as I can. That's what I draw from each of them too. So yeah, there's a connection between of them, and that would be
What advice would you give to someone who's looking to take that step? Maybe they've reached a point in their life that maybe they have time to do that, or something has happened. They're like, okay, what am I going to do now?
take it. That's because you don't know what's going to happen if you don't take it, and just take it for the right reasons. I guess a lot of people are looking for fame and fortune these days, but if you're taking that step because you're passionate about where it's going to go, then wherever it goes, you'll find out along the way where it's going to go. So that would be my
Yeah.
feelings on that.
And I mean, I get
Might as well and see what happens.
exactly.
But also don't over blow your expectations. Yeah, don't extend yourself. Don't over expect. Just go in, try it, see what happens. You'll enjoy it. Things will happen along the way, and every step that happens will end up encouraging you to take the next step. I did not know that I thought I was gonna throw out a couple of cover songs, and that'll be my music career. But then I wrote a song, and then people liked it, and then when people liked it, it encouraged me to do the 3 other songs, and so on. Just one step at a time, and see what you feel about every step as you take it.
Where can people go to find more of your work?
Everything is under Il Hashem Music. So whether Facebook, Instagram, I'm on TikTok recently, YouTube, Il Hashem. I don't know if you're gonna have the name anywhere because they have to spell it, but Il Hashem Music on every platform.
Amazing. Have any stories you'd like us to share, or communities we should highlight? Leave a comment on our social media or reach out to us on our website. I'm Ryan Funk. This was You Talk, and have yourself a good one.